Saturday, December 18th, and I'm down here in Stockton, Missouri, which is about 2 hours and 15 minutes southeast of Kansas City. And I'm running the Last Chance Ultra. So this race has 3 different distances: 100 mile, 50 mile, and 50K. I'm gonna be doing the 50K, which starts at 8 a.m. The 50 milers just started at 7, and I think the 100 milers started at 6. I'm not sure. But yeah, just checked in. They gave us this really wild shirt. Crazy tie-dye shirt. Really cool, long sleeve. And I'm gonna be going with number 80 today. And this race has got some really cool artwork. As you can see in the shirt and on the bib, there's this really neat looking tie-dye fish. But yeah, this is gonna be a technical trail race. I don't know what to expect because I wasn't able to find any course overviews online. This is only the 2nd year that they've done this. So what I'll be doing today is trying to provide a course overview. And since it's a looped race, hopefully this will be helpful if you're watching this, if you're thinking about doing this race, regardless of the distance. Because if you're doing the 100 miler, you're gonna be doing 10 loops. If you're doing the 50 miler, you're gonna be doing 5. And then for the 50K, it's 3. I don't know if they have like an out and back beforehand to get in that extra mile or so. Or if it's not technically 10 miles, it might be like 10.3 or 10.4 per loop. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna try to document all that today. Go back in good.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm a sucker for you.
So you start with a little bit of an out and back section. It's about a quarter mile or so. Come back to the start line. Gonna do that after each loop. All right, about a third of the mile in, and we're hitting the trail. All right, I'm a little over a mile in. Initial thoughts on the course is that this is a gorgeous trail. I mean, this is really well maintained, really nice trail so far. Now I say that, I'm only a mile in. It could get really technical and crazy later on. But so far, initial impressions, it's gonna be an enjoyable race. Really cold. Got gloves on and I still can't feel my fingers. And wearing 2 layers. And I've also got the neck buff, covering my ears, and 2 beanies on. So really cold out here today. Just under 2.5 miles in, and we've hit this dirt road. All right, a little over 5 miles in. Let's make a quick stop because it's starting to warm up. So I'm gonna take off one of the beanies My gloves, put in the pack. And I'll grab something to eat too. But yeah, so it's all been on the trail. There was a section where I was on dirt road for about 0.8 of a mile, then went back on the trail for about 1/10 of a mile, then was on paved surface for 1/10 of a mile, then back on the trail. And the trail's been remarkably consistent. So yeah, it's definitely not flat. There's definitely rocks and roots and stuff, but it's not anything crazy. Really enjoyable run so far. So looking forward to completing this one. Let's get back at it. All right, a little over 6 miles. We're on some grass here. Coming into this aid station. Hey, how's it going?
It's going.
Just left that mile 6 aid station. So to get to it, you come off the trail a bit from the woods. You go down that way, and then you work your way back. And here we go, back into the woods and on the trail. I should also note that this course is really well marked. There's a few sections, like you come up through this way, then you have to go down that way for about 1/2 mile until you hit the aid station and then come back. But it's really well marked. So like if you're coming from this direction, you're gonna hit this arrow, it's gonna point you there. And then when you're coming back from that end, there's gonna be signs pointing you back onto the trail. So really well marked.
Hey, right on
here,
man.
Ryan.
Yeah.
My man, Zach.
Let's go.
Where are we now? Like
I don't know.
7 miles in?
Yeah, almost 7.
Yeah.
On a beautiful spring-like winter day.
Yeah, it is beautiful out here. What a day, man.
Yeah.
It was really cold when it started, but right now it's feeling really nice.
Not bad for this time of year. It's a crapshoot in this area this time of year though.
That's for sure.
Could be 30, could be 70. You're gonna wake up to find out.
It is a massive lake. Okay, on the first real incline of the day, about 8¼ miles in, a decent hill here. And yeah, this has been the first real, you know, I don't want to say significant, but decent uphill. It looks like it's starting to level off, so only about 0.2 of a mile or so. All right, yeah, looks like it's leveling off. Cool. One of the challenges, if you want to call it that, of running at this time of the year is that all the leaves have fallen, so the trail is covered with them, as you can see. So when it's uneven and rocky in sections, sometimes you can't see what's underneath the leaves. All right, coming out the woods around mile 10. Car's parked over here, and you can hear the music playing at the starting line down here. So about to finish the first loop.
Well, she got her daddy's car and she cruised to the hamburger stand now. Seems she forgot all about the library like she told her old man. And with the
Alright, when you come through, there's a restroom right there. And then go around this loop and then back through the starting line. And we'll start the second loop.
All right, just started back on the trail for the second loop. And you can't really trust these Garmin watches too much when it comes to ascent and elevation gain. I mean, it's something, but it's not always perfect. But my watch said that that first loop was 850 feet of ascent. So, give you an idea of the climb. Not too bad. I guess it's like 85 stories, flights of stairs. I don't know, is a flight of stairs 10 feet or 12? Not sure, but nothing too bad. Basically in sum, really pretty easy going, nothing too crazy. Gets a little bit more challenging around mile 8 through 10, a bit more ascent, more technical aspects of the trail, but still nothing too significant. Really nice easy going trail. So if you're watching this because you're interested in the course overview, that's pretty much it. But what I'm going to do for the rest of the video is just kind of check in on how I'm feeling so I can document for myself, you know, how the race goes, and go back and look at it so I know, you know, how I was feeling in different spots, try to learn from that and improve on future races. So yeah, let's get after it. .5 miles in, so about halfway. It's getting a little bit windy. You can probably hear that. GoPro's probably picking it up. I used to have a wind guard on this, but I lost it in the last race, so I'm gonna have to get a replacement. I'm sure it's noisy, and the wind's coming off that lake, so it's nice and chilly, but it's not too bad. All right, coming up on the mile 16 aid station. Hello.
Hello.
All right, I'm just under 18 miles and I'm feeling great. The thing about running distance, especially ultra marathons, is you go through these peaks and valleys where you feel kind of down and then you feel great. Usually when you feel great, it's after you go down to this low valley and then your brain just starts pumping out endorphins because they're like, well, this guy ain't gonna stop. And then all of a sudden you feel fantastic, and that lasts for a while, and then you kind of go back down. At least for me. I don't know if it's like that for everybody else, but yeah, I'm going through one of those happy spurts and feeling really good. Just be, you know, thankful to be out here running, enjoying this day, having a blast out here. So I'm gonna try to get a hyperlapse video of mile 18 to 19. So mile 8 to 9 on the loop. I like doing that with the GoPro. It's a pretty cool feature, but I gotta hold the camera while I run for a full mile. But luckily it has the horizon leveling feature on it, so it's not shaking all over the place. So yeah, let's see if we can get some good footage. All right, mile 19. So, as I mentioned earlier in this video, there's a lot of leaves on the ground. So it can be challenging to see things. So I was running and there was a root that was buried underneath the leaves, and I hit it with my right foot and I almost fell and ate it, but luckily I stopped myself. But when I hit the root, I had this sharp pain go all the way up my leg into the back of my right hamstring, and then my right hamstring got really tight, and I was like, oh man, this is not good. but I kept running, and after about half a mile, the pain started to subside. And now I've got about a mile on it and I can't even feel it. So I'm doing okay right now, but I think it's probably gonna be one of those injuries that, as long as I keep it loose and I'm running on it for the remainder of the race, it's not gonna give me any trouble. But when I wake up tomorrow, it'll probably be pretty tight. So just gonna have to monitor that. But yeah, I just got one more mile to go on this loop. And then I'm gonna start the third and final one. All right, coming in on the end of lap 2. So I'm gonna peel off to the right here. They have an aid station in the pavilion. So I'm gonna do that before I go in and out of the loop again here.
Doing good?
Doing good. How you doing?
What do you need?
All right, here we go. Third and final lap. All right, I just ate it for the first time. You can kind of see that root that was buried underneath the trees that I hit. And man, ow. Man, I went straight down and luckily caught myself, but my right hip flexor is pretty jacked up right now. So yeah, this is the joy of running technical trails. This one's not too technical, but still you run into this stuff. Oof. Yeah, so I'm hoping that I can just continue running and loosen this up. But man, that was painful. All right, let's keep moving forward. It's been about a mile since I ate it, and I'm feeling okay. So sometimes with these injuries, like the hamstring one that happened, or what just happened to me with my hip flexor when I hit the dirt, sometimes it's best just to run them off, because if you stop, then you'll get kind of like locked up and you're in for a long day. Now, I'm not a doctor or anything. I'm sure there are certain injuries where you definitely should stop, but I found if it's muscle related, sometimes if you just keep moving, keep the body loose, and it'll pass. All right, mile 25 check-in. I'm in one of those low points of the race. Like I mentioned earlier, it's all peaks and valleys. I'm definitely in a valley. Body's feeling pretty beat up. Mentally, I'm starting to fade a bit. And cardio's good though. I feel totally fine from that standpoint. But yeah, I got pushed through this. I also got a headache. When I started recording these videos last year, I noticed that a common theme is when I'm running these ultras between mile 25 and 30, I always get a really bad headache on the left side of my head that lasts for a few miles. All right, just past the full marathon mark and coming into the aid station here. Just left that aid station. I can feel that I'm coming out of that valley. Like, I can feel like I'm about to get a resurgence here. And it's good because I got about 4 miles to go. So just gotta push through these last 4 and I make this happen. But yeah, talk about ups and downs on this run. It's doing rough there for a little bit, but yeah, let's do this. All right, I'm done.
Just finished up the race and they gave us this medal. Not sure how well it shows up in the sun. It's for both the 50K and 50 mile distance.